gigging call, whatever you want to call it. This became on my lanyard and stayed on my lanyard, and that has been since 2007 or 8 or whatever. And that's the first part of the story. The second part of the story is 2 or 3 years went by, and I became more successful as I could be with the amount of time that I could go hunt, and I killed some ducks, and I became very comfortable with calling in a situation with my Challenger, and I became very comfortable with it, and to a point where I really liked my Challenger, and I was a little worried that through theft or equipment failure or whatever, or just banging up against a tree, you know, when I go by it or something, chasing a duck or whatever might happen, that my trusty Challenger that I've enjoyed having and become successful with may be broken or stolen, or just somehow I won't have it anymore, and I don't have a backup at the time. Did not have a backup. So anyway, I called around like people did before the internet was around, and I opened the phone book and I called, let me back up a second. I talked to some folks who knew about Challenger duck calls and said, that's Mike Benton. You need to call Mike and he'll sell you another one or whatever, and that's great. So the phone number on the duck call, not a good number, because it was probably from the 90s or early 2000s or something like that. So I called all the Bentons in the phone book right down the list until somebody said, that's my daddy. You're talking about my daddy. He would be glad to talk to you and sell you a duck call. Bam. Gave me his number, and I called him up, left him a message, and got in contact, and got on the phone with him, blew my Challenger duck call, and said, this is what I sound like, whatever. And so I met Mike, and he had some duck calls, and I bought some calls from Mike. And fast forward this many years, or whatever, how long it's been, that was in 2013 when I met Mike and bought some calls. And I've bought a bunch since then, given them as gifts and done whatever. And now I've got the Canvasback Creative, which is kind of my hobby, I guess, of hunting and fishing books and a little bit of anything and everything that an outdoorsman might like to be interested to pilfer through and pick up at a garage sale or an estate sale. They can go right down to Canvasback Creative inside shops on the alley in West Monroe at 215 Trent Street. Right off Trent, you walk in the door on the second one on the right, just about 9 feet wide, and I've got some duck calls and books and things like that. And it's not really what this video is about. This video is really just to showcase the Challenger, which I have about 15 or so Challengers available in the shop. And anyway, this is really a demonstration of Challenger duck calls, and thought you might be interested in the story of how I come to know Mike and about Challenger duck calls. So I hope this was a little entertaining to listen to, and if you're interested in a duck call and you like to visit Antique Alley, maybe zip on down to Canvasback Creative and pick you up a Challenger duck call, maybe a hunting and fishing book, and enjoy your time in there. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, and see you around.